All right. Well, welcome everyone. We're super excited to have this call today. We're gonna so last week Jake was planning on doing like an overview of the back office, and then he had to travel for work. So he's gonna go through that today. For those of you who I don't know yet, my name is Amber Kuiper. This is Jake Kuiper. It's so fun to see so many new faces on our team. This last month has just been so awesome for growth. All right, before we go ahead and dive in, let me open us up in prayer and then we'll get moving. God, I just thank you so much for the opportunity to have this team call and for all the people who are on live and the ones that are listening to the recording. I just pray that you would meet each of us where we're at today, God. You know exactly what we need to continue down this path and to make an impact here. And so I just pray that any stress, anything that might be causing us to have fear or anxiety or anything like that would just go away, and that you would replace that with your perfect peace and confidence that you can use us as we serve our customers and serve our teammates here. I just pray with this training that you would give us the words to say that would be helpful for everyone so that they can go and use it to take action in their businesses. And I just pray for all the things going on personally too in the lives of everyone on our team, Lord. You know those things too, the things that are exciting, the things that are heavy. So I just pray that you would meet us where we are today. In your name, amen. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to Jake, and then he's gonna walk us through. If you have questions about the back office, post them in the chat, and we will get to them during or after, whenever it makes sense to answer those. And also just know this, that if you are just starting and this feels overwhelming, anything that we cover, don't sweat. You don't have to learn all of this in a day. You can even come back later and, listen to this again. But what we hope to do is what Jake's going to do is share the different reports and kind of an overview of what he uses consistently. So he does a lot of like the back end stuff. He's always looking at numbers, who's close to different ranks, what they still need to get the next star bonus. He's always kind of looking at that. So I think you'll really enjoy his perspective. And then as you have questions, just go ahead and post them, like I said, in the chat. Let me share this. All right. Okay, can everyone see that? Okay. All right, go ahead.
All right. Hey. If I haven't had the opportunity to chat with you guys at all, thank you so much for being a part of our team, our business. And I try and support, encourage, comment as much as I possibly can. And I just always want you to know, like, whatever I'm posting is truly what's on my heart, what I believe, what I see. And my goal is really to be somebody kind of in this back channel that can make sure that you're held accountable to your goals. So I talk about that. I posted about that yesterday, that with body, like the only thing that you were ever really seen at as initially was diamond. And then once you were seen as a diamond, you really weren't seen again until you were elite. I think in this particular comp plan and company, there's so many different metrics for recognition and acknowledging growth. So I really try and find like a good balance of that throughout the week, and also with any of the reports that I post. A lot of them have kind of a double opportunity to them. So, like, obviously, Star Club bonuses are great for you guys, and you should be tracking your Star Club bonus. You should know where you're at for the month. That's a really good opportunity. Sorry, we got our landscaping company like literally right in front of us right now.
The
So
timing, oh my
I'm
gosh.
just staying right here while he's mowing. So Star Club bonus is absolutely something that you guys should be tracking, because at the end of the month, if you do not maximize your Star Club, if you do not get across that 500 threshold, or you do not have enough customers, then it resets the following month and goes back to zero. That's really important. I've tried to say that a couple of times when I acknowledge it. I don't know if everybody kind of reads through that, but some of the stuff we're trying to kind of educate you with it when we post it, so that there's no surprises. And then, on some of this other stuff, we're also trying to recognize different growth metrics that can ultimately get you where you want to be. As I've looked at network marketing, I like kind of like this factory assembly analogy, where we're at different points, we're putting different pieces of the puzzle or different pieces of the product together in order for us to ultimately get you where you want to be. And so, first things first is always going to be PTV. And then one of the things that I obviously track is organizational volume, which we'll go over today. You guys will see that, as we're going through this. That can ultimately help you guys get to certain ranks. And then the Star Club bonus is a nice one because it's rewarding you for, maximizing bringing people into the business. So, what I told Amber I would do is I would just kind of like show where I spend a lot of my time. I run these reports a couple of times a day. And then the nice thing, even if you're not really running reports, there's so much information just on like the general front page of the back office that you guys should be spending a little bit of time like looking at every single day. I want to encourage you first and foremost to be business owners. Run this like a business, treat it like a business, understand what you need to do in order to get paid. This is going to be kind of 101. And then maybe a little bit into this, we'll do like another 201 where we really start understanding what unlocks at different ranks. That's not for everybody today because that can end up being really overwhelming. But I assure you, the further you go, the harder you work, the more you push. This is a comp plan that actually rewards you. And there's different tiers that unlock as you progress and develop a team, if that's something that you're going for. I love that there is the component that can be team building for those of you who are passionate about that. But I also love that PTV and the Star Club bonus really reward people who are just selling too. Some of y'all are just better at selling and the team thing stresses you out. So like there's a home for you here too. So I really, really like that. The other thing I'm going to show you a couple of things I'll show you. One, how to like set up your rock stars, like people that are really pushing for different goals. You can have a watch list that allows you just to go into your back office and see where they're at. That's really, really helpful. I guess you'll see like who I've been tracking these last couple of days. But anyways, and then I want you guys to also see where you can go in to track hitting your elite qualifications. There's going to be a subset of you that are going to really want to push for those. I have found them to be very attainable. Very attainable. We're going to end up going platinum elite in 5 months, which like would have happened whether we had the cool thing is we would have happened whether the body collapse happened or not. Like, so if you are working and you are working steady and on a daily basis, I think a lot of y'all should be actually able to hit one of the elite qualifications. And our understanding is from corporate that they're going to open up opportunities for anybody who wants to push for that to also qualify for next year's trip. So that's really cool as well. And then the last thing I'll show you is just some of the basic reports that I'm running. I won't go into like a super deep dive on it, but I want to make sure that you guys understand where you can find reports. So hopefully that sounds good to y'all. So obviously like we start up at the top of the report here. I don't get too concerned with this weekly pay to month to date because it does true up the following month. So like you can see here where I'm hovering, like we're paid at the 40%. I'm going to tell you if you want to maximize the comp plan, don't stress yourself out with this, but you do need to kind of push yourself with this. So the first like month and a half, Amber and I like just really hunkered down on trying to make sure that we were at the 25%. Like that had to happen. I did not want to go through month one getting paid 30%, feeling really good about myself, and then in month two get my paycheck and be like, what the heck happened? Like I thought this was a great comp plan. So remember, first time customers, that first 30 days, you guys are paid on 30% of whatever they order. When they reorder, you're going to be paid at this metric right here. Okay. So it's important if I'm going in there and I'm trying to understand what's going on in my back office, you should be looking at this current monthly sales every single day, just so you have an idea. Again, you're a business owner. So month one, I mean, it really is pretty tough to get to the 10,000 mark right away. But it's something you can build towards. So I would say month one, push yourself to get to this $3,000 mark. Okay. Or month one or two, like just depending on your goals. And then push yourself that following month to see if you can kind of get close to this 7,500. And then really like you've got kind of like, I think it's like a 3, 4 month window. We started hitting this last month, and that was month 4. So in 4 months, we were able to build to a point where we were over $10,000 in commission, or in product sales with commission. And like I said, I don't worry about this too much. I have my own separate tracker that I can share with you guys as well. I like to keep an eye on trends as far as what money is coming in on a weekly basis, how much we're getting paid as far as like our team bonus, just so I can keep measuring like where we're growing or where we need to have some, additional focus. But
Can I touch on, if you the reason we say go for the 25 is because that's also gonna get you right in line to hit director. So that's nice to, and again, we're all starting at different points. Obviously, I had a previous business, so I got to the 10% or the 10,000 faster than people who are just starting out in network marketing. So it's really important too, to like, keep your eyes on your own paper. Don't compare yourself to others, but every month, like what I've done, and you're gonna have to figure out what number feels best for you. But every month I just try to increase my personal sales by a little bit. And then, pushing to get to the 40 was my goal within a few months. But don't feel like if you're looking at mine going, holy cow, that's so many sales. Like, don't feel like you're not succeeding if yours isn't there yet, because, what's cool is to see people, regardless of where they start, month after month, they are progressing towards the 10,000. It's just, if they're working consistently, it's just, for some, it's going to take a little longer to get that customer base up. But like Jake said, that should absolutely be your goal, to get to the 40% eventually, even if it doesn't happen for a while.
the other thing that I want to point out with this, I do track our customer counts. I think that's a really good thing to keep an eye on as well. What you will see that you probably didn't see, or like didn't necessarily know if you were seeing it at Body, is how many people are actually reordering. So if you're looking at this active customer count, again, like these are pretty attainable, 3, 5, 10, 15. I haven't found them to like push us too much. I think we were able to hit the customer count pretty quick, within month 1. Again, we're rolling over and bringing some people over. Where I want to go with this as like a method, as a form of encouragement to you, is that this number has grown month after month after month after month after month. So even if you're looking at your customer base today and you're like, oh, I'm only at 3, next month, like it probably will go to 5, and then it'll go to 10, and then it'll go to 15. One of my favorite things to remind myself is a brick a day eventually builds a house. So you just have to make sure that you're staying in this race, and not trying to sprint through it, but building your foundation the right way.
Mhm.
Okay. So I start every time I open it up, it's right in front of me. So I start there kind of looking at that.
And do you want to just reiterate that this is for the next month? So whatever you're looking at right now, so where ours is 40, that's telling us, okay, you check the box of 10,000 this month, therefore next month you'll earn 40%. So this is not for this month, this is for the following month.
Now, sometimes I will click on this view report. That's just going to show you any customer orders that have come through. And I'll click on it because everything that they've built for you is pretty easy to navigate. I can't quite sing. So this is the one thing that I honestly will do. I'll go in here and I'll just track it based off of the last day. Just so I can go in there and see, like, did everybody that we were expecting to order place an order? That's really all it is. I'm just sorting it the opposite, so I can see the most current day's sales and make sure that anybody that like we were having conversations with, or they told us they were planning on placing an order, I want to make sure that it went through. That's also like kind of my method for follow-up, or telling Amber to follow up, is, hey, this person said that they were planning on placing an order. I just checked the back office and they haven't ordered. So that's a really good place here, especially month end, that you guys can find out whether or not the people that are telling you, hey, I'm checking out right now, whether or not they ordered.
Yeah, I just want to make sure there's no questions. Yeah, so we answered that question about it's for next month is what that's showing. So at this point in the month, what you're going to want to do is look at where you're at, and you're going to want to, we'll talk about this a little bit later, more in depth, but as far as pushing sales, you're going to want to push, because if you're on the brink of being to one tier or the next, if you're on the line, you're going to want to push so that you can earn that next commission up. Yeah, Christine, that's a good point. It actually builds on each other because people love the product, so they want to reorder, which just makes it a lot easier to sell when they actually want to get more stuff. Yeah, the income with, you don't need that. That's what I'm saying, you guys. You do not need hundreds and thousands of customers here to win, especially once you get into that 40%, which is why we want everyone to do that. Josh is asking,
We need to clarify on that. Let me find out for you because there's some things that, depending on when you sign up, roll into the next month. Even some Star Club bonuses will roll into the next month. So let me get like an exact answer
but
from corporate on that.
in an ideal world, yeah, you would sign, like, when we look at the marketing calendar for the month, ideal setting, you want people to have the full month. So like, and you know what, maybe we just talk about this now because it's coming up, but so for those of you that came in the middle of the month, right? Because every month resets to zero as far as volume goes. But so ideally what we're going to be doing is recruiting towards the end of a month and then starting people out to get their announcement posts up so they can take advantage of the beginning of the month. Now, obviously, life is not ideal. The situation is different. But what you want to think about, if you have not yet, and this is what I told someone this morning, I said, if you have not yet done your announcement post, if you're like brand new, then I would say hold off have orders being placed until November 1st. If you've already launched, which a lot of you have, then I would say you need to push through some sales to end the month to get at least up to that tier. But it's different than body because the question that's come up a few times is that they're like, well, at body, I would hit Success Club, and then sometimes I would hold sales because I was nervous I wasn't going to hit Success Club the next month. So our philosophy with that has always been if the sales are there, don't wait, because if they're telling you they want to order now, let them order now. But with this comp plan, it's even more important to push, especially if you're close. Because, yeah, let's say just for an example, let's just say your personal sales right now were around like $500, or let's say like $800. You're going to want to push to get them over 1,000 so that you can get to that 20% mark for next month. So if you have already launched your business, you're going to want to push just to get to at least the next up. But then I know like for Josh and some others on their team and other teams, you guys are going to wait to do your grand opening event until the next month, until November. And that's going to be great too. I mean, you'll find there's not a lack of sales here. So, even if you wait to have some of those major things come through, it's going to be fine. But if you're brand new, I would, at this point, being the 29th, even if you're going to place an order under your husband's account, I would wait until November 1st to do that. When you hit 40%, do you also get that on new? Nope, the 30% for new is always stays. I'm gonna
So,
scroll down. I think there might be a few more.
yeah,
Be curious.
correct.
Be curious about the day since I joined on the 18th. I'll be able to hit 1 Star Club, but it would be amazing if we could. Yeah, and it's like do your best. A lot of this is just getting yourself in place, and you have plenty of time. The other thing that I don't want you guys to feel is like you're ever behind either, because at Body there were certain times when new people would join, they'd feel like, oh my gosh, I'm failing because I'm not at this certain point. Having like setting up the foundation of your business in October is still going to set you up for a much larger, it still takes a couple weeks to set up your business. So even if someone's starting right now, they really will still have part of November that they're just getting started. So this way you'll have the full month to take advantage of.
Yeah, and I would say we have so many people that are really like at the ground floor of this business anyways. So like the 30% on all new customers is going to be better than what you would have gotten if they all signed up this month anyway. So
Right.
like whenever the time makes sense, the goal is always going to be to bring new people into the business. Where I want to make sure I'm pointing you guys is if the goal is to ultimately maximize this comp plan and really build this thing, then you have to have a component of your strategy that is trying to push towards higher customer counts and then higher product sales in addition to developing a team.
Katie said, so if we have 1099 PV at the end, the month ends, then we have to start over. Right. So every month you have the full month to hit a rank. So that's why if you're brand new, ideally, yeah, you have 4 weeks to hit director, for example. But even getting some sales in, you're still getting paid 30%, like Jake said. So it's still better for you to get some of these sales your first month. It's just you might wait a month to hit director, but that's not gonna penalize you at all. Okay, all right, I think we're
Okay, moving on. Okay, so that was a good conversation just on the first thing I look at. Hopefully that all makes sense. Okay. Second chart that I'm looking at, these are the metrics for your growth. And they're always going to have goals right here that I have always felt are very attainable depending on what level, no matter what level you're really at, whether you're just getting started or you're trying to grow. These will adjust at points in the month as you reach something and then it pushes you towards others. The big thing that I've just always had us prioritize since we started here is just making sure that these are full, that we are hitting our goals and surpassing our goals. But this, when I'm giving you guys updates on organizational volume, I'm going here and that's where I'm looking at it and seeing it. This little bar here is really nice. This will show you when sometimes I'll reference like where we were at the month before. I look at this all the time so that we can have conversations. Like I was saying, like in June, when we came over, we had 42 clients. This is where I was saying it just has naturally grown. Then it went to 58, then it went to 70, then it went to 72, then it went to 84. Every single month it has grown. And what you'll see is like maybe some months people don't need to reorder and then they come back the following month to reorder, but like every single month it has grown. Same thing here. This is where I was saying we really pushed hard for that 30%. Then we pushed for 35. So we actually have been at 40% now. This is month 3 that we've been at 40%. So for those of you coming over with established businesses, 2 to 3 months for sure. It's very, very possible. And then this is also where I think is kind of interesting. Customer sales has grown from 7,000 when we first opened. Now we're doubling in 4 or 5 months to 13,000. These are metrics that I'm looking at. Same thing with organizational volume. You guys can see it. This chat's annoying me. So like this PTV here, 8,000, and now it's up to 34,000. Organizational volume, I'm tracking that. This is where I'm like, hey guys, can you believe it? Like we're doubling, tripling. Like this isn't PS. July to August to September, every single month we're growing right now. And this has been a huge jump, obviously, with all y'all coming on board. So this is a good place for you guys just to go in and measure your progressions.
Can I touch on something too about for me, I just want to remind you guys, my process was very different than some of you who are coming from body in the sense that I focused on retail to start. A lot of you have started your month, if you had teams, you're starting on the team side, which is totally great too. It's just different. So what I'm guessing is that a lot of your numbers are going to be, well, obviously higher than mine in the team building side for my month 1. So you might not quite be at the 30% yet because you've been so focused getting your team set up. It's just a different focus. But so I guess what I'm trying to say is for those of you who have teams, your focus this month was more on your team. For those of you who are brand new, I would encourage you to really, dive into the sales side of it and the customer side. And then what you'll find is just like back in if you're from body back in the day, someone would go through a program, they'd love the products, and then they would oftentimes want to join as an ambassador. So again, like we're showing our numbers, we're being transparent, but I do not want you to feel like you're behind at all because everyone comes in at such a different point.
Yeah, there's not really like a good um like kind of mock-up back office for us to work out of. So really the only way is for either us showing your back office or showing ours. So we'd rather just be transparent with you and hopefully this helps. So all this stuff, I just think this interface is really, really user-friendly. So, spend a few minutes every single day, maybe once in the morning, once at night, going in here and just making sure like, hey, everything that I'm trying to track or everything I'm trying to hit is tracking towards where we want to go.
Yeah, so that just means that 15 of the, or whatever, 16 people of returning customers have not ordered this month. So like everyone else is a returning customer. So I have technically 100 members, just some of them have not ordered. So active customers means people that have ordered this month.
Okay. I love that comment, Christy, because it is kind of addicting. And the thing that's really fun, and it's gotten even more fun, is that every time I go in there, there's like this kind of fun jump. And then like if your heart's where I think a lot of ours are, where we all want to see each other win right now, like it's like really cool. And I'll show you where I go to find it, in case y'all don't know, but like I'll see that we had a big jump, and then I'm like, okay, well, who had the big jump? So
Yeah.
this is, I think this back office makes it really fun and easy for you to know where you're at all points. Star Club, you guys have probably seen this. Um, so this is where you're tracking people who are signing up, how many sales are coming into new customers. Again, very simple and easy to understand interface. Just make sure, like I said, at the end of the month, this doesn't roll over. So if you're really close here, it's worth it. I mean, if we can find one more sale, that'll be on our kind of radar here. We got to get $60 more to some new customer in the next 3 days, and we'll unlock another $75 bonus. Again, you can hit up to 15 of these on a monthly basis. That's a really generous, token, I guess, of the comp plan. The reality of being able to do that on a regular basis is going to be pretty tough. We did it month one when we transitioned over because we were enrolling and signing up new people. So, y'all could come close this month. Doing it month two, month three, month four, I just wouldn't set yourself up for failure. Getting to a point on, again, if you're really pushing and wanting to grow to be in that kind of, I don't know, 3 to 8 range on a monthly basis is pretty healthy. And then you've got months like this where, we're one away from hitting 10. That's going to be a really good month for us. So I just, again, just sometimes it's just helpful to set realistic expectations so you're not, setting yourself up to be disappointed.
I think she answered her own question.
Okay. All right. So now this is a really neat thing for team builders. I love this little watch list. This is super easy. I mean, it's got everybody in our downline that I was kind of keeping an eye on over the last week, as far as either like growing or trying to, or sorry, our direct personally sponsored. I can park there. So people that I'm just kind of making sure I'm keeping an eye on as far as pushing for director goals. So anytime that you want to add those, you just go here and then you can type in whatever person that you want, and then hit, once you select it and go in and done, it'll save in your watch list. I don't know. I'm a huge recognition person. I want people who are working really hard to feel seen and appreciated. This makes it really easy. So you can go in there and you can just like, hey, here are the people that I'm working on. And then like, honestly, we've got 3 days to go yet. And we've got probably 4 or 5 more people that are in our, immediately sponsored that I think can hit director. So I'll go in there this afternoon and update those now that Kara and Nicole got across the finish line. And then I'll have another one, and that's another one. I'm going in there, I'm refreshing it to see where they're at and what I need to do, or if I need to send them a message or something just to give them some encouragement. So, this is a really, really helpful thing. So I would set it up and you can adjust it, remove people. But the downside with it, which I actually do want to push on corporate a little bit, you can only put 10 people in there. Um, I just am looking at our groups growing, and I'm like, man, we've got 150 people that I think I should be able to track if I easily want to. So just so you know, it maxes at 10, then you got to like move people around. But I am going to see if maybe they'll adjust that just so it's a little bit easier. This is where I'm going to go with like incentives. This is another thing that I'm keeping a lookout on, especially for those of you who are aiming to go elite. I really do feel like this bronze elite is very doable. I really think it's they did it really well, that it's not just a premier or elite or you're just nothing. They have four different tiers depending on how you want to grow, and the pace you want to grow at. And they're all kind of in here. Again, it's just a very, very, very simple back office to navigate. So you can go in here and it'll, it breaks it down when you got your Star Club bonus. It breaks it down by people who you're sponsoring and they're spending over $100. Like all this stuff is pretty easy. The only thing that you got to make sure you like don't bank on, I guess that I would say, is just, these cap out. Star Club and ambassador sponsoring will cap out. So you need to be like, if you want to hit upper elite qualifications, you do have to have this side of it that is, team building. Okay. But this report's really helpful. Again, it's something that I go in on a pretty regular basis and just see where we're at. I mean, how many times have we been like, if we can just do this, then you'll go, silver, you'll go gold. So I like that it's a very, very user-friendly, interface for you to go in there and understand what you have to do. One thing that is important to note, like we got the business leader development here. And so, these are all people. I do like that I can go in here and track this as well as far as where people are in their qualifications, month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4. Again, this is where I'm going in and just like trying to get a good look at, is there somebody I should reach out to, message, check in with to make sure that, I'm helping them to their goal. They said they wanted to go director. It's probably time for me just to check in, encourage them, something to that effect. But I do like being able to go here and see it. And then, what's the other one? Oh, so this one, like these are people that have this kind of a helpful thing for y'all. So anybody who signs up as an ambassador and they sell over $500, you get 15 elite points. I actually really like this. I go in here on a regular basis to see what a rock star Kelsey is. Nicole Beeler, over 14,000 in sales already. Kara Capel, 17,000, 18,000. But I mean, like Brittany Altimus, 26. I mean, like I love going in here and just seeing how people are producing. And then, I mean, there's multiple tabs here that you can click through, right? But it's another, like, I think a fun way, like, each 6,800. Liz Huber, 6,900. I love the ability to just go in and recognize people, because all of that, even you look at 622, it makes a difference, right? It's what I love about organizational volume. Everybody has a role in the organization. So this little retention, new ambassador enrollments, is a really, really quick and easy way for you to go in there and see who's selling in your downline. Again, it's a different game plan, because if you've got people who might not be building a team and they don't have massive organizational volume, you're never going to notice them. But if you go in there and you're looking at who's actually selling, you're going to notice that from PTV and their PTV. But I love dollar amounts. It's a report that I'm pushing corporate to give us. I just would love to see who is selling, because sometimes people that are selling versus building just need different development and structure and encouragement. So,
well, and it's possible that someone who runs with the affiliate side of the comp plan, they could be director making way more money than someone that's ranked up higher, just based on, the percentage that they're at and what they're selling dollar wise. So I would love that report. We can't pull it right now, but what we want, and we talked to corporate about, is like where we can just rank everyone by like, what did you sell this month, so that we can then say, okay, this is who's selling at the 10%, this is who's selling, because I think this piece of the comp plan is so important and we want to make sure we're focusing on that.
and I do want to say this too. I don't know how many of y'all have looked in a deep dive into what elite gets you, but like Shackley takes such good care of you. Like such good care of you. And I'm not going to tell you like the little things that they've done for us, I should say, in the last couple of months, because I just want it to be a surprise for all of y'all. But you will not believe the way that you are seen. So again, it's just one of those things where, yeah, we got to put our heads down and work for a little bit. We've got some growth to do. We've said this on repeat that it feels like we're like at the beginning of the jet and we're like fueling up right now for takeoff. But I just want to like make sure that you're going to be seen and encourage you to like put in the work now, because it actually is worth it.
Yeah, that's a great question, Tracy. So like the way that the elite program works here, yeah, and that video is perfect because it's going to go more in depth, but in a nutshell, the elite program is great because what they don't do is they don't rank you versus each other. You know how at Body it was like she's number 1 and she's number 2,000. Here, it's like you pick what tier you want to be recognized at. So bronze is the first tier, and then silver, and then gold, and then platinum. And so what they do is that's what they use at their summer like conference where they have people walk across stage and get recognized. So when I saw what I loved is that it was like, okay, all of your bronze elite walk across the stage, all of the silver, all of the gold. And so it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough. It was like, okay, I put these benchmarks in front of myself. I hit them. Now I'm being celebrated alongside everybody else. But what it also gets you, in addition to that recognition, is the trip. They earn you want earn the VIP trip, and they did put a specific set of things in place for anyone who joined from Body starting October 1st. So you can still earn the trip because it wasn't possible technically because you have to hold director or above for 4 months in a row. So essentially what they did is they just added on a little bit more time so that you could still earn the trip and hold director the same amount of time as everybody else who's qualifying. So there is a video. I'll make sure it's in the team page that they just put out like end of last week that shows specifically for those of you who come over from Body how you can still earn the trip.
And then from there, there's different tiers of, just the way that they reward and gift and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, some of it, I'll see if I can find the link to that I was reading about. I mean, there's just some like really, really cool perks, which I thought Body was always generous when it came to like hitting their elite benchmarks or whatever. But I feel like this is a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Okay. The last thing I'm going to show you is just where I go on a pretty regular basis with reports, because there's a couple of them that I think are pretty helpful to review. I'm also gonna, as I have already a couple of times, I'm also gonna like go in there and show like in our team page, I'll post like little like things for you guys to be able to like find your paychecks as well, like, because that's another thing that I don't know if I necessarily need to pull up right here. But I'll send like a step by step by step. On the 15th of every month, they're going to post your team bonus and then any sort of like true up or anything that they might need to do from commission tiers that you hit. That all gets paid on the 15th of the month. So if you're like, well, I thought like the money was going to be a little better, one time a month, you're going to get that payout. When that payout is posted to your bank account, there's going to be a PDF that is uploaded in here. So I'll go through and maybe tomorrow I'll post like a little like tutorial on how to find it when that happens, or maybe even like as we get a little closer to needing to find it next month, I'll get that posted. But then you can go in there and you can actually see the breakdown in income and where it's coming from. And again, treat it like a business. I would spend a few minutes, review it yourself, have a spouse review it if that's not real, if numbers just aren't your thing. But like understand where money is coming from. That's just so important as you're building your business here. Okay. So two things that I maybe three here. So that this one, team rank qualifications and Team Star Club. So, okay. So this is one thing, like I always say, success leaves clues. You've probably heard that before. I think that this is kind of an interesting report to run. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Sorry. Items purchased. I think this is the one I meant to click.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so this is I like going in here on a semi-regular basis and looking at this. What products am I selling? Okay, and this is ours. And this is going to be within the last 3 months, but you can filter the report out and go 6 months or whatever. If you're trying to figure out like where do I start, what am I going to have the most likelihood to convert, sell, progress, whatever. I mean, clearly we felt like the best things in life are free. So we lead a lot with Meology. I mean, the free assessment is just such a simple value add for people. I think Amber does a phenomenal job of incorporating it and just making it something like, hey, if you're curious, just take this. It's free. But clearly, we've had a lot of success converting those 229 orders of Meology. So I like that. Performance, we're all waiting for it if you don't have it. So like clearly we've had a lot of success being able to convert people over to the performance. And then I know I've said this on a couple of team calls, but we made a really big push like a month ago to be like, hey, let's sell a ton of these youth ageless wands and get ahead of this. Thank God we did, because we actually have before and afters where so many people do not. But this was not there. maybe a month ago. And we were like, man, like there's so much earning opportunity within the skincare line, within the wands. That beauty space is awesome for PTV and it's awesome for sales and dollar amounts. So you can see like this jumped up and we've been able like that was probably down here, lower tier. And then it jumped up to the top. So like just putting a little bit more of an emphasis on it, we've been able to really make a dent in that and move that way up. These are like, we figured LifeShake would be good, being able to convert Shakeology. But like you can kind of see how our business has gone. Like, we don't do a whole lot of home, but I mean, you're still getting where was I just looking at? Like the dishwasher, it's 23 orders, like biodegradable cleaner, 48 orders. I mean, there's still orders coming in, but the good stuff and the easy stuff that we've been able to make some progress on has been a lot of the stuff that we're converting over from body and then some of the beauty stuff. So that's a good little report to run, every couple weeks, just kind of see how you're doing. That's items purchased by personal customers and director team. Okay. The report that I run every single day, all day, multiple times a day, is this team rank qualification. So what I do, sorry, I know we've got names here. Hopefully y'all forgive me, but this is just how the report runs. So what I do is I go into this mainframe and then I'll go current PTV and it'll sort it. What is it? Descending, right? So this report runs now and I can go all the way down. So y'all make my life like these reports lately take forever to put together because we have so many people now that are over 500 PTV. But it allows you to go in there and see the PTV for people. And then the other thing that I've been tracking a lot lately, because we've got people that are really close to hitting certain rank ups, like Christy. Christy's big thing. She needed to hit over 10,000 in OV and have 2 director legs. So then I'm going in there on a semi-regular basis and telling Amber like, hey, Christy's really close to this. Like she's not that far off. Kelsey's really close to this. Josh Spencer can tell you how many times I message him on little things that I'm like, hey, just like, and he's like, I already know. But this is where I'm going in here and running these reports. Current PTV, so I can see, and I'm just making sure I sort it, and then current OV, organizational volume, so I can make sure that any of y'all who are really close to rank advancements are pushing for them the right way. And then I can go back and just make sure like everything else is in place, is the director legs and all that kind of stuff, so that there's nothing that you're qualifying for but missing this. So team rank qualifications is where I'm pulling all of these reports, and I'm pretty good about it. The beginning of the month, it takes a little bit generally for us to get over those 500, PTV marks. So take a little bit of time. And then as soon as I hit that 500, we start tracking it. And it's designed to be a fun way for you to feel seen. And then also have like, different benchmarks that like, hey, acknowledge people are over 1,000. That's awesome. That's incredible. That's incredible. Over 1,250, over 1,500, over 2,000. And then like this month is just kind of wild where it's like, okay, well, I also want people that are over 5,000 to feel seen too. Like you're not done. You're obviously doing something right. You're obviously building. So this has honestly been the first month that we haven't just let people hit director and go. And I'm really happy we haven't, because it's really neat to just see how hard all y'all have been working, and it's really fun to acknowledge it all. Okay, last thing that I'll show you today that I go into, this is where you figure out like Star Club reports for your downline. I'm telling you, like some of this stuff's just a little bit obnoxious. I feel like that should just be like a really, really easy tab to find. I don't even know if I can scroll on yours right here. So this kind of sucks, being honest. You have to go in here and you have to scroll over a little bit, and then you have to click this thing, and then it resorts it for you. So you do have to scroll over, scroll up, and then click this month to date number of bonuses earned. And this is where I'm pulling all of that information to make sure I'm recognizing you. If you are putting people on, that adding names to your watch list, you still have to go in and click on them. I can show you that in a second because you can see their dashboard. So it's a good way, like, hey, if I'm kind of tracking people, I'll go in there and just make sure they're maximizing their Star Club bonuses, or like, hey, just, make sure she knows she needs $20 more in sales, whatever. If, you start building out a big team, or maybe you're beyond that 10-person watch list and you just want to make sure you're not missing anybody, you can still go in here and run this report. I'll say this. Sometimes we've had this a few times where, like, especially initial months, they stack people together, and they stack their success last month with their success this month, and it makes this like big bonus amount number. And then they'll look at you and be like, I don't have 17 Star Club bonuses. That only can happen on the first month, and that might happen this month. So we kind of you do have to keep an eye on this report to some level, because it's not like people are selling 20, getting 24 Star Club bonuses. It's just got this weird rollover sometimes in the system here, not in what you're paid, but in the system of tracking it. Sometimes they'll roll those over to the next month.
Yeah, if you ever also like don't see your name on a list that it should be, please let us know, because please know it's never intentional to leave anyone out. But every once in a while, there seems to be a glitch with the star clubs, and so then we don't see. So never feel like you shouldn't reach out. Like, we want to know if we're missing something, whether it's the system or, our error. Like, please let us know, because we want you to be recognized for what you're doing.
I'm not going to click on their businesses directly, but I'll say this. If you click on anybody on your watch list, it'll take you into their back office just like this.
Mhm.
So once you build out your watch list, you can go in there and you can see their volume, you can see their sales commission, and then most importantly, especially month end, all y'all leaders. I want to build a factory of great leaders in this organization. And I know we've got a bunch of leaders already in place that have that same passion. I want people to choose our team, come into our organization at any level, and have whatever level of success that they want. Us being able to accomplish that and provide those opportunities and that guidance starts with us taking the time to go in and double checking where they're at with Star Club, because it's $75 and it resets at the beginning of the month. So if you've got people who are working right now in your downline, make sure you go in there, make sure you are clicking on their names. And I'm telling you, like, the thing that's wild to me, and I think we got to this point with Beachbody.
Can I unshare? Are you done
Yeah,
sharing?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we were in the spot where we just felt so bad and guilty pushing people. It's like, my life's great. And I want you to hit it, hit whatever. I want you to hit diamond. So I'm checking in with you. And we would get such nasty messages back from people like, no, I don't want to, I'm not pushing right now. That we got back into this like shell of who we are. And we stopped pushing for goals. We stopped trying to like set new ranks and achievements and dollar amounts that we want to earn as impact and income for our family. I truly believe in this comp plan. I really believe it's good. I really believe it's fair and solid. And I think the more people that I reach out to, that I'm kind of in my head still, where I'm like, oh, do I message her? And then I'll send it. And like, I've never, ever gotten a message back from somebody that's been like, please don't send this. It's like, oh my God, I didn't realize that I was that close. Thank you so much for pointing it out. And I say that to say this, like, if you're in your head and you've got all these girls, men and women that are signing up under you and they're telling you that they want to push, I really believe like we have a team full of people that are ready to push. And if we want to be effective leaders that are carrying through on the promises we're making people, then we need to up our leadership game, understand back offices, understand where to find this stuff and track this stuff. And we need to be bold enough to send messages to people reminding them like, hey, like, you're really, really close to this. Let's get it. Like, if you're this close to director this month, I've just always believed like, if the numbers are there, the names are there, and I've got a plan to do it, I might as well do it. Always have, always will believe in that. And so I just think like, get out of your heads in this space, because I think all of us can make a huge amount of income. I think we can all make a huge amount of impact. And we just got to treat it like a business. And part of that is being good managers and leaders to the people that are trusting you with their businesses, and taking the time to understand this back office, and then, send a message and guide people towards maximizing their income potential.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think what's going to be really neat too, for those of you, because I know we have a lot of you who maybe you haven't been in network marketing before, or you maybe dabbled at body but didn't really go all in. It's going to be so neat to see how you can win here. I actually asked, so Mandy Beach is someone that was on our team. She wasn't right under us, but she was in our downline at body, and I just adore her. She's so consistent, and it was always sort of a struggle at body. She never got to quite to diamond. She got real close. But here, she worked really hard. And the first couple months, she didn't hit director her first, or that was it her third month that she hit. Mandy, if you're watching the recording, I apologize if I got this wrong, but it took her a few months, and then this last month she hit director I think it was maybe her third month that she hit director, and then she's now held it for 2 months. But anyway, her story is like, I want to get more of Mandy's stories out there, because I don't want you to feel like, oh, I had to be a leader at body in order to have success here, because everyone that's working hard is having success. And then there's Nicole Beeler on. She'd never done network marketing before, ever. And she hit director, her first month, and has now held it for 4 months straight. And, she's like, there's just so many people that are winning here. And so if you put the hard work in, it's so possible. We got Christine Taylor, who was an elite coach at Body, and she made more her first 3 weeks than she did, what she was earning at Body. So it's happening here. I think the biggest thing is resetting our mindsets to believe we can truly win again. But it's really fun. So we got a few minutes left. Any questions, pop them in here. Otherwise, I'm going to talk quickly about month end and how we can lock some things in to end strong. So, okay. So yeah, we have what, today and tomorrow and Thursday, and we got Halloween is the last day. So really, let's just say we have today and tomorrow to push really hard for ending the month strong. But I would encourage you to, if you have already launched your business, to like go to the end of the month. I'll share how we do month end pushes, because we shared this with Nicole. I think it was helpful for her. Was it last month we shared this? But so with sales, we believe like end of the month, you push, like you're working nonstop, doing all the follow-ups, doing all the things, but it's also not sustainable to push that hard all the time. So what Jake did back in med device sales, he would do this, and he was always at the top of the charts for sales, but month end, he'd push really hard. And then the first couple days of the next month, he'd be like, okay, I worked hard. Let's take a day or two. And usually he'd schedule a massage or something like that for like the first or second day of the month.
Now I'm self-employed, so I can't afford it.
We do need to get a massage at some point again. But yeah, so he would like take the first couple days of the month to just sort of go, okay, let's reflect, let's celebrate, let's think about like what went well, what I want to work on for the next month. But it's not sustainable to work, this last month, by the way, for so many of you, it's been a grind. And I know that you've been working nonstop to try to get teams over to get this whole thing figured out. But keep in mind, like as we push to the end of the month, then November is going to come and we can take a second, reset, and then you'll get into consistency again. But I share that to say that the next couple days really should feel a little bit unbalanced in terms of your time if you are going to end the month strong. So for those of you who, like I said, have already started, go to the back dashboard like we talked about and look to see what your personal sales are at right now. And then look to see what tier you're earning and how close are you to that next tier, because I think you can surprise yourself by pushing to the next one, getting close. And here's the thing too, is like, I think Christine mentioned this, others too, but although you start at 0 every month, it's so much easier the next month because reorders are happening. So we say 0, but if you're already working, it's not really 0, because you already have these members who with a little education are going to want to reorder. So it really does start to build month after month.
Can I add one really quick thing too? Like you're going to push right now. And I'm telling you, like every single month that we have been here, Shaklee has had some sort of promotion, something, or if we haven't been up to our goals, we've asked for our own promotion and they've given it to us. So like, don't get in your head with like a scarcity mindset that like, okay, I'm just going to burn up all my customers. Push like heck, 2-3 days, break. Then we have the wand sale, push like heck, wand sale, maximize it, break. Then they'll probably have something for Thanksgiving, push like heck, break. Then we'll push you again month end, break. Christmas, like every single month, they have had something. And I'm telling you, the more that you continue to follow the wave, that's another like old like device thing. Like they always used to, I think I've said this before, but we used to call them spiffs. And it would just like literally we were incentivized to sell. And like if you were smart, you just sold a ton of it and got all the bonuses and all that kind of stuff. Corporate is telling you what to sell. That's like even as much as we run our own businesses, they are telling us what to sell. This wand sale, they want to sell a ton of wands. And then if you just think about the longevity of it, if we can convert a bunch of people, like maybe they do Botox still, and then they use this to like extend it, and now they can only do Botox twice a year instead of 3 times, whatever. Like we're getting people, converting people over to this product that they will then have to reorder from you, not at a 40% discount. So follow corporate's path here. And the thing that's really nice about it is as you're following corporate's path, your customers now are going to get on wands, and then they're going to start, and then they're going to love it. And then they're going to reach out to you and they're going to be like, hey, I noticed you're talking about this meology. What's meology? I love my wands. And then they're going to add meology. I'm telling you guys, like you'll start seeing some of these reorders. We've got a gal this month that's is on I realized she's on 3 different loyalty orders. So like I see her order come in on the 5th and I'm like, boom, our VIP ordered. Then I saw her come in on the 12th. I'm like, holy, she's ordering 12. Then this week I pulled that report that I shared with you guys and I was like, oh man, she's got another one coming in. So she's on 3 different loyalty orders. And I'm telling you, it's just simply from being like, okay, hey, corporate's telling us to do this. Let's just try selling this and see what happens. So just encourage you, like push, because ultimately like you're bringing clients in, and then as you continue to understand the products and pitch the products, they'll just start adding to their cart. It's really, really fun when we used to be so siloed into one little sphere. Now you've got this whole like world of 300 products that you can be pitching.
Christine, if you have, I don't know, if you have a second to chat about that, could you share your perspective on that? Like just what you shared about how pushing now will help you next month?
So, as it has been mentioned before, is Shaklee has an 85% retention rate. Okay. And at first, I think we all sort of go, but does it? Because, like with Body, we all know how it was. We sign up preferred customers, they buy for a month or two, and then they fall off. Right. And so, in our heads, I mean, I know even 5 years into Body, you sort of start going at the end of the month and you're like, oh, I don't know if I sell these last couple of challenge packs, if I'm going to then hit my success club that I want to hit for the next month. Okay, so that's like the scarcity mindset, right? But in this circumstance in company is honestly, everyone is reordering because they love what they've purchased. So you don't need to have the scarcity mindset that you're not going to re-get that order again next month. So I like to think now, instead of like, oh, should I not push at the end of the month and wait and place some orders next month because I've quote unquote hit director? No, because if you push and go make another $1,000 in sales, honestly, that just gets you farther along next month because most of those people are going to replace their order. So now it's like the building blocks, just like you watched Amber and Jake's little screen, and each month they're just adding more and more people, but those other people are still repurchasing. And that's how this is too. So I would encourage everyone, even if you've already hit director, even if you've already hit your goal for the month, I would encourage you to still go and spend these next 2 days pushing because it'll pay off next month, because then you're at like a higher starting place. That's how I feel about it, because I'm like, okay, great. Now I get to start at 6,000 or 7,000 and build from that. So people reorder.
Yeah, that's so helpful. You're so right. It was kind of like it's scary. It's scary to trust it because we couldn't do that before.
Right.
Thank you.
Ashley's question, do we have a system for emails, customers? We haven't gotten that in depth with it. We will reach out anytime that it triggers in the little back office. It'll send you the prompt. I think that's kind of what you're referring to. But yeah, I mean, you've got little things to kind of like remind you that people are like loyalty orders are going to be expiring. But I will say I shared that report the other day of loyalty orders that are expected. I do track that. And especially as we get to month end, I go in there every single day to like see if like that has updated, if we need to reach out. And then I'll oftentimes be telling Amber like, hey, like this customer is ordering an awful lot of product. Like, let's make sure that we send them something just to let them know that we really appreciate them.
Yeah. And then this question, do you want to answer this one about Natalie? she's wondering, like, should she at least be pushed for 500 so that she gets to that 15?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what Christine was talking about there. I don't know, like right now, like either way, you're going to be like hitting the 30%. And again, abundance mindset's going to tell you that there's going to be more people waiting for you and ready to order next month. So, I mean, right now, like we're kind of all failing forward, right? So, we've got a lot of products to learn, a lot of products to talk about, and again, you know, if you push really hard these next 3 days, starting Friday, you know, you're going to be able to pivot and now you're going to be able to talk about wands. I think my one encouragement might be lean into like Meology and the Longevity Club, which like we're really open to anybody's ideas with that, but like I think like the more exclusive and cool, I don't know how you make Longevity Club cool, but like I think if we're able to come up with something that just feels like, gosh, like I really want to get into this thing, I think we could all be able to use that like as this continues to build and grow, like Thanksgiving, we use it, and Christmas and New Year's, goodness, like that should be just an awesome boom for all of us. But we want to have something at month end that way we can follow corporate and hey, they're going to give us this promotion. Let's run with the promotion. Let's sell a ton of product here. Then at the end of the month, we really push Longevity Club and give them some sort of deadline to sign up for. But I think like my immediate encouragement to your question would be to like find something maybe outside of the wands to push with, just because we're trying to get customers into your business in the first place. And as Christine said, though, a lot of times they're reordering. 85% of the time they're reordering. So that means that they're going to place an order with you next month as well, on top of all the new customers you bring in.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that too. Like what to promote right now to end the month strong would be the wellness side, would be Longevity Club. We've done, yeah, people have said, hey, join me for a vitamin challenge where we take our vitamins for 30 days and we do that. You know, you can also plug them into Longevity Club. But I know too that when I was promoting Longevity Club last month and I talked about, so week 2, we have Kelsey Shockley teaching how to track macros, and people are looking for that kind of stuff. Like Jake said, that has been a big drawing card for people because they're like, I want to do macros. Okay, so then I can learn how to do that. But really, typically what we've done the last couple of months that's worked well is the second half of the month is focusing on wellness, getting people into Longevity Club, and then we switch over and then we'll focus on the wands and the beauty side the first half of the month. So to end this month, I think the vitamins, they just sell very quickly. They're very easy to sell. The 7-day cleanse, I started my whole launch with a 7-day cleanse because people want that, like they can see themselves doing something for 7 days. And at some point we did a team-wide 7-day cleanse. We'll do another one probably at some point, but yeah, whatever. At the end of the day, it boils down to what are you most excited about? Because
For
what
sure.
you're most excited about is what people are going to feel, and then they're gonna end up purchasing that through you. Like Josh and Melinda are all on these cheer up and chill out gummies, and so they're just like all in on these. And I keep seeing orders, like every order they have come through, it's like cheer up, chill out, like in every single order. So I think that's kind of fun too, to focus on just what are you loving, and they did a video about it in their group. So yeah, to end the month, I would just say, you know, get in the back, like behind the scenes stuff. Yes, social media, great, get out there, share. But behind the scenes is where you're going to really close a lot of sales because you can follow up and have those one-on-one conversations. All right, I think that's all. Do we have anything else? Do you guys have any other questions? Sorry, I went a little bit long today. Hopefully it was helpful.
Sorry, I wouldn't be able to type it that fast. My question is, at the top of the month, are you guys going to be running the 7-day in the club, the 7-day cleanse, or
Yes, we will. So right now we're on an off week with Longevity Club. So what I'm going to be doing in the next day or two is wiping that whole group clean, and then we'll start off week 1 with the option to do the 7-day cleanse. And then from there, the second week we do the macro. So yeah, that's a great question. For anyone that wants to start the 7-day cleanse, they can start on Monday.
And again, deadlines. If people want to be in it, you got to have your stuff by Monday.
All right. Well, thank you guys. It was good to see all of you. Thanks for hopping on. We'll get the recording up too, so you can pass on to anyone that couldn't make it live. All right. Talk to you later.